What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Team Solemn Circus live video. I'm going to be showing you guys off Labyrinth today. This deck does change a little bit with the upcoming format. We're going to be seeing Tempai being released in the next deck, which is why we're going to be playing some of these tech cards you guys will see in the deck. Before we dive into like, comment, subscribe, this deck did not get hit at all from the ban list. We weren't playing Link Revo at all, so no really hits. You weren't playing any of the Syncos stuff. This deck's still going to be at full power. You can still play the Eradicator stuff. This deck's going to be definitely very popular. I think it does get a little bit worse into the Tempai because, of course, that deck can absolutely destroy this. But that's just going to be a whole different deck altogether. Before we dive in, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and well, I'll show you guys the stuff. So we're only playing one Lovely. This is very basic. You ever need to play one. We're playing the 2 Lady. Please do not play less or more than 2. I see some lists playing 1. That's so wild to me. This card's absolutely amazing, especially in your hand. If you only play 1 and your opponent knows you're playing 1, this is going to be going away very quickly with the Bistils in the format, which is going to be very good. So definitely need to play 2 of that. We are still playing the 2 Arias. I don't even want to debate this. This card, I don't always want to see it at 3, and I don't always like it, so I play it at 2. Same reason why I play Kuklok at 2. Then we are playing the 3 Ariana for the last other lady. We're not playing the pink. We don't really think that's very needed. You can choose to play the pink if you want to, 1 pink. And then, of course, you can play in the side. You can play the Fiend, a Dark Lock, whatever, the Barrier statue that you can play. But unfortunately, a lot of these decks do play around darks. A lot of the format is dark. Therefore, it's not going to do really much for us. Then for our furnitures, we are playing the 3 copies of Chandelier, the 3 copies of Storby Torby, and the double copies of Kuklok. I don't think anyone's playing any less than these. Some players are jumping the 1 Kuklok for your 3rd copy of Arias. I definitely think this card's necessarily at 2. You always want to have them in rotation. We also are playing the Unchained card, so I will be showing that off in a second here. We're playing the 1 copy of Shavara. RIP my boy. You coulda and shoulda came to 2 on the list. I don't know what Konami was doing, but definitely should incorporated him. And then we are also playing the 3 copies of Nibiru, and as well as the 3 copies of Imperm. So these 2 are the best cards of the format. Ash is still obviously insanely good, but this deck doesn't really have the most ability to lose those cards. You don't want to really go -1. You're already discarding off the copies of Storby Torby as well as the Chandragolier. So that's why you're playing the 1 Impermanence because it's Trap, so you can reset it with the Lovely, or you can set it with a Lady if you need to as well. And then Nibiru with any of these furnitures is absolutely insane, so you're already pairing it with that. And just we lost a lot of Omni Negates, so Nibiru is really good right now, especially if you just don't even give them the token. Then we are playing the 1 copy of Labrynth. This is going to be able to pop your stuff. And we actually are playing double copies of Super Poly. So this is going to be something that's different in this deck list. I think Super Poly is absolutely insane in this format because of Tempai as well as Branded and the Snake Eyes deck. A lot of the times you end up moving now into the Fire King version of it. Therefore, they're going to have a lot more stuff on the field that you can Super Poly out. And just really, really good, against even Thunder Dragon and stuff like that. Whatever really. It's normally never dead, which is why we're just playing 2 of it. But you don't want to kind of brick on it, so that's why we're only playing 2. You definitely could play 3. And we're playing the Call of the Grave because Ash is still going to be very relevant in this format, and we don't like our big welcomes getting hit with Ash. So if we draw into a copy of Call of the Grave, then we end up hitting it. Pretty nice there. Now for the traps, this is a trap deck. We are playing triple big welcome, and no argument there. Double welcome, double rollback, and double black. So the reason why we're playing this ratio here, obviously other than the big welcome, is because I really do believe in the 2-ofs in this deck. You want to see them, but you don't want to see them all the time. You could debate putting rollback to 3, but the problem is it doesn't actually win you games. If obviously you get the double effect, it is really nice, but if you end up bricking and seeing multiple, you don't really want to. It's the same idea as the Lady. 1 is nice, but having multiple is kind of a brick. Same thing with the welcome. If you want the turbo out, you could play maybe more copies of the Arias and then play 3 copies of welcome. And then, of course, then you can just start discarding your copies of other stuff off the rollbacks. But, it's just not really needed. I would play another Blackout Laughs, but I just don't see really the purpose of it, as well as I want to be able to tech in some other cards, so I don't always have to set it. If I have this, I send it to the graveyard, and then I can just copy it, or I can just banish it, and then with Lady, I can set the other copy of it. I just like it really being live all the time. And then for the 1 of traps, we're playing the Escape, obviously for the combo. the Daruma Cannon, the Ice Dragon Prisoner, the Godly D Barrier. This card is actually insane in this format, you know, with the decks like Tempai, U-Bell, Branded, Runic, any really variant that you really want to. D Barrier is going to be able to hit, and this card is going to be absolutely deadly, unless you're playing like a Link strategy as well, which is kind of rough, but it is what it is, which is why we're playing like other cards like Daruma Cannon as well as Ice Dragon Prison, you know, to be able to combat everything that you can have. You can play other traps if you want to, but this is going to be the variant that we're playing, and I really think that 3 traps alongside like the Black Goat that laughs is quite literally enough. Now for the extra deck, we are playing a little bit of a different extra deck. We're playing the 1 Yama to help you Link summon. The 1 Rage is going to kind of let you go up into this. It sets up your combo. You know, a lot of times you can go Rage, and then you can go, obviously, for your Shawarma. And then you could set a copy of the Welcome. You pop Welcome with the Shawarma, summon itself out, link away into your Rage. And then you're going to be able to set the Escape there, and you're going to be able to have a nice little lock. And then, obviously, once your card leaves the field, Welcome will set itself back. And then it's just really nice. And then to go into your Rage, you have SP Little Knight. This nice combo here is, you know, a Unchained staple, but unfortunately we can't play it anymore. The deck is kind of bad, so we're going to be leaving it in this deck. But when it does resolve, it feels really nice. And then we have the Muckraker, as well as the Dark, and the Anima, and the Clara, as well as the Underworld Goddess. Something else I forgot to mention with this is that you'll actually be able to add back when you have the Escape. So you have essentially Escape, Rage. Rage, you're going to get popped by the Escape alongside one other card your opponent controls. The Welcome is going to reset itself, and then you're going to be able to activate the Rage as well as the Yama, banishing itself, summoning back the Rage. Rage will let you add you back any of your Fiends. So if you activated a Fiend, let's say a Kuklok, to just send it to the graveyard, you get to add that back. If you activated an Ariana, if you activated a Lady or anything like that, you get to add it back to the hand, which is really nice. Like your Muckraker to summon back stuff. Dark, be able to take it to Dark deck, obviously. Anima, so when your opponent plays into something like that, or, you know, you can just have a Kuklok, you know, have it essentially, or not a Kuklok to link up into an SP that activates. You can just go for that. Clarissa for the normal summon, go into the SP during the main phase 2. And then, obviously, Underworld Goddess, because you can sometimes spend on the board, and Purely is going to be a deck now that we do have to pay attention to. And now for the fusion cards, we are playing the 1 copy of Garua, as well as the Mud Dragon, Dragostapelia, and the Adagnister. So you can play whatever version of this that you really want to. Super Poly is really good this format. You know, these two really deal with anything. This is like the random matchups like Branded that can come up even if you play it versus a copy of like Runic. You know, being able to use their cards, going for a Dragostapelia, being able to start to negate those cards can be really helpful. Also, being able to use Thunder Dragon Colossus to go into it is really cool as well if you're playing as a Thunder Dragon. And then, of course, this is for like your salad matchups, your random matchups you can play against. That's just like if you're playing against a Cyberse pile or really whatever. It can come up against Fire King, Snake Eye as well, but chances are it doesn't really, unless they're going to go for like random bad lines with Sunlight Wolf. But other than that, that's really it for the fusions. Now for the synchros, we are playing the 1 copy of Chaos Angel. You can bring this back out with the Muckraker. But a lot of the time just 1 is enough. We're not playing extravagant, so we don't really have to worry about it. And then for the last 2 cards, we are playing the Caesar as well as the Sky Crisis. So this is actually kind of like a flex spot. I would say this is probably mandatory. I really, a lot of the times, like to go into the Wave King Caesar. If you have like multiple copies of Arias. So it's really cool, especially, I mean, you can even consider, I guess, the Shawarma as well. A lot of the times, if you do open up like kind of bad, or you have this in your hand already, you can actually like turbo into Caesar, and Caesar's not that bad at all. Like Caesar's an actually amazing card. So if you can really get into your Rage plus Caesar line, you're essentially playing Unchained at that point with like a big welcome set, which is really cool. But like I really do love Unchained, and I love Caesar itself, so I really want to find a way to kind of like play it still. It doesn't come up all the time, but like it's just a flex spot that you can just play. Other than like Zeus or like not Baguska, but Dweller. I couldn't really find what else I wanted to put in, so I was like, if this just comes up, it comes up. It's really good in the grind game as well. Like if they summon out an Arias because the opponent like really triggers something else, instead of going for a copy of Chaos Angel and you already are able to break their board, you can actually like summon out another one with like a Welcome, overlay into a Caesar, and like your opponent cannot beat this after turn 0. Like they've already burned through a lot of gas. If you're able to just like take the board out, then summon this, and like you're essentially winning the game right then and there. And with your Mutt Cracker and stuff like that, it can come up a lot where you do end up making it. But it definitely is a flex spot that you guys can play if you want to. You don't definitely have to, but I just like it myself. Regardless, hope you enjoyed watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to see more content like this. I'm going to be trying to show you guys off a little bit more like stuff like we're going to be doing over the Melodious deck, as well as Thunder Dragon on Monday that we saw. But if there are any other decks you guys want to be seeing me feature, let me know in the comment section down below, and I'll do my best to feature it. Don't forget to stay safe. Peace.